Yahoo Search. Yahoo Search is available through much, if not most, of the yahoo.com network of sites, of which there are many. But if you want to go directly to the search engine without any clutter, you can simply go to search.yahoo.com. You get a very clean page, and you can start typing in terms. And again, the same thing happens. Golf Channel, Golfsmith, Golf Galaxy, reviews, discount equipment. So you get more ideas that way. There are some useful free tools there to help you build up more of your keyword list. Then, of course, once you have your keyword list, you can do more in-depth research on how many searches those keywords tend to get. Because, of course, let's say a term gets 100 searches a day. It's unlikely that you're going to get 100 visitors a day from that term because they may or may not click through to your site. So you're only going to get a percentage of those. But obviously, the higher your site appears in the search results, the bigger the percentage of visitors you're going to get from each search. So you can build up a big keyword list and perhaps put it into a Word file, for example, just into a text document, and then you can research the terms on Word Tracker to see how much traffic they get, and maybe initially focus on the lower trafficked terms which aren't too competitive, and build traffic that way. And eventually, as your site gets more authority by getting more links to it and being around longer, then you can start going after the more competitive terms and start competing directly with the real search engine leaders in your market. But okay, last example, AdWords. If you don't have a Google AdWords account, you can create one for, at this time at least, as little as $5 as your initial advertising budget. And you don't even have to advertise. You can just sign up, spend your $5, and then pause all your advertising so you aren't actually spending any more money, and then just use their keyword tool within the account. And I'll just demonstrate that tool now. Okay, I've logged into the account, and here's the front page. It shows a snapshot, but what we want is to click on Tools. And what we're interested in is Keyword Tool. And here, this may look slightly different by the time you use it because they're continuing to develop it, but the main concepts are going to remain the same. So, okay, you have two options. How would you like to generate keyword ideas? You can type in terms, or you can get it directly from a website. And actually, let's start with website content. Click on that, and let's actually go to Google. Okay, I've gone to Google, and I've typed in golf equipment. And of course, you can do this for any search term for which you want to bring back sites. Then, you can copy and paste the address of any of the sites you're interested in looking at in more depth. Then go back to AdWords, enter a web page URL to find keywords related to the content on the page. So you can get keyword ideas directly from your competitors. So let's paste that in, right-click and paste, and if you want to get a lot of suggestions, you can choose to include other pages on the site linked to that address. But let's not do that in this example. Let's just choose Get Keyword Ideas. Okay, it's come back, and the page has significantly increased in size. So let's take a look. We can filter if we wish, but let's not worry about that. But actually, there is something worth mentioning here. Click on this, choose Columns to Display. You may want to choose Show All so you can get as much information as possible. And if you wish, you can group keywords together by common terms, or you can turn this off. Here it tells you showing keywords grouped by these terms: golf clubs, 49 results, golf bag, 34 results, golf iron, Callaway Golf Club, and so on. So that gives you good ideas too. Let's take a look, and it provides a lot of information. So here are the keywords. It's giving you suggestions. estimated ad position. If you're advertising using Google AdWords, then you would want that information. But to get it, you would have to enter a maximum cost per click here. But we're not going to be looking at pay-per-click advertising in this set of videos. So let's skip over estimated ad position and estimated average cost per click to advertiser competition. It doesn't give you exact figures, but it gives you a broad overview. Golf clubs. Naturally, a lot of competition. Then December search volume. Okay, these are all very broad statistics. They don't give you specifics, but the December search volume doesn't seem to be excessively high. Average search volume, again, not excessively high, but what's that compared to? So it can be a bit open-ended. But something that's useful to look at sometimes, where there's little competition but decent search volume, there you've found a keyword you can possibly compete in quite easily. So maybe that's something to look at. Okay, very usefully, trend information. How the terms become more or less popular month by month. For some terms, for example Christmas trees, there are probably many more searches in November and December than there are the rest of the year. So perhaps the trends are important for the keywords you're looking at. Highest volume occurred in July. Interesting. If you look at these quickly, July, June, May, March. Okay, most of these seem to be around spring to the middle of the year. That may be the busiest shopping time of the year for golf products if you're selling to that market. Okay, and here, match type. A broad match means, actually this isn't hugely relevant for search engine optimization. It may be useful, but it's not hugely relevant. This is more important if you're involved in pay-per-click advertising. For example, if you change from broad to exact, and okay, there isn't a huge amount of change, so that isn't particularly relevant to search engine optimization in this instance, so let's stick with broad. Okay, let's quickly take a look. We have golf clubs, golf club reviews, Adams golf clubs, and pay attention to singular and plural, because obviously those are different combinations of words people may search for. So maybe one is a lot more popular than the other, or maybe they're even. So if they're even and you can appeal to both, that's good. But if one's a lot more popular than the other, you might want to focus on that one initially. Ladies' golf clubs, lady golf clubs, and so on. Interestingly here, lady golf clubs, a lot of competition, but comparatively less search volume. Okay, so this can give you a lot of ideas. So these tools taken together, or these tools used to build up a good keyword list and then that list cross-referenced with word tracker, can easily get you keyword lists in the dozens or hundreds or even more. Then you just have to prioritize which keywords you're going after. And again, you may want to start with a less competitive term if your website doesn't have a lot of links pointing to it and isn't hugely established. And if you go for the lower trafficked terms, then obviously you'll need a higher quantity to start getting decent traffic. But if you go after those terms consistently and keep adding to the site, and if you optimize your site, then the traffic will keep growing and growing. And at a certain point, you may be able to compete at the very high traffic terms. Then, at a certain point, if you keep adding links and keep growing your site, and your site becomes an authority for Google, then at that point, you can even start competing at the same level as the sites I've been demonstrating here in the top 10 for such high traffic and high quality terms as golf equipment.